There. The audio thing needed clicked. Ow. Anyway, it allowed me to tie my apron. Morning. So there's a Zoom thing. I forget what it's called, but Zoom is the brand. And it takes the audio from this mic and puts it into the camera, and the camera puts it to the computer. And I have to turn it on, and then it takes a while to load up, and then I can hit the button for it to start. That's what I forgot to do because it takes a few minutes. Good morning, everyone. How am I today? I'm great. I sprayed the palette down so I could scrape off the paint. We're gonna work on this today. Why would Green Man set things up like this? I don't know if there's a better way for it to work. I think it requires a lot of different equipment. It's almost the first of the month. It's tomorrow, which means tomorrow's new contact day, and I need it desperately. Welcome in, Echo. We will get painted. We will get painting shortly. Right now I'm scraping off this palette. And then I will read some alerts. And then I will have to remix up some colors and then start painting. When are you going to get LASIK to complete the surgery trifecta? It is something I want to do. All right. And palette's cleaned off. Great. Sapphire Becca says, same, I can't even do contact. Yeah, I've been wearing contacts since I got glasses in 5th grade. Nope, I take that back, 6th grade. And then I hated them. And I went to contacts in 7th grade. And I've had contacts ever since. I only wear glasses if I've like just woken up or like it's just too late in the day and I just can't have contacts in anymore, which is pretty rare. Normally I can have contacts in all day. And I don't like having to take them out to nap. So sometimes I'll wear glasses until I nap and then I'll put contacts in. And my favorite optometrist said that I prefer contacts because of how my astigmatism works on my eyes. She said it's some hybrid kind and like not really fixable. She said so contacts mask it for your eye. So that's why you like your contacts better. It's like, ah. I just don't feel confident driving in glasses. It just sucks. I have a 15-month resub from Vagabond, thank you. 15 months from Boop Snoot. 15 months also from Gold Mage. 15 months from Elfie Goldfish. Everyone's hitting 15 months today. I have a 3-month resub from Dan the Warrior. 14 months from Darkness Bride. 15 months from Storms 002. 14 months from Winparthia. 9 months from Elsimi82, 3 months from Arcane Leo. The real Mr. Mike gifted a sub to Haley, thank you. An anonymous gifter gifted a sub back to the real Mr. Mike, thank you for that. Just like a Like in the drive-thru line when people pay for the people in front of them. 16 soon? Yep, 16 soon. So I'm really happy with this painting. It's going very well. What I need to do is I need to mark in the horizon line, and I think I painted this too far down, which is fine. I just gotta move the horizon line up anyway. And then we can start painting all of this mess. But I really like these colors. And like the gradient isn't perfect, but it looks kind of cloud-like in here. And I really like that. So super happy about how this is all coming together. So I think the horizon needs to start here. No, a little higher. Here. Oh, you can see that mark too. Cool. And over here, I think it needs to be here. And so how does that look? Am I happy with that, or do I want a little bit more sky? I think I want a little bit more sky. Like here. Yes. We have 300 bits from Dan the Warrior, who says, I also don't feel confident driving, though my reason is I'm still learning for the driver's license test, and turning left in car is harder than it is on paper, so it's rough, but I'm getting the hang of it. You will get more confident the more you drive. I had a few number of years where I wasn't really driving at all, and now I'm driving again, and I feel a lot better. And when I had my car, I felt super confident in that. My little stick shift Kia that I had for a long time. And I feel that way on my bike too, now that I've been like biking in the last handful of months. Like, I used to be really confident biking where I could like take my hands off the handlebar and like sit up and like pedal and bike. And then since getting this bike, it's taken a little bit until I've gotten comfortable enough to do that as well. So, it is all practice. It's the same with like parallel parking. The more you do it, the better you get, and I don't ever do it, so I'm terrible at it. Svandera says, stick shift gang. Yeah. I want a stick shift car. I just want this little coupe, this little Subaru BRZ with a stick shift. But that doesn't make sense to buy. How do I feel now that I've been exercising regularly? Great. I've gotten to the point where I can feel muscle. Oh, I dropped a chalk pastel. And that's really cool. And being able to go and not try and do a personal best on a 20K is pretty cool. It's like, yeah. Would I like to drive your BRZ? Every time I have to go get an oil change, I see if they have one on the lot so I can test drive it. But that's a mistake, because then I'll want it more. Penguin Frog says, I've decided on one of two bikes, a folding e-bike if I decide to go for a bike. Listen, if you are someone who like wants to get into biking, but you just kind of want to do it for fun, like a pedal assist e-bike is so cool. Yeah, Steven drove my stick shift car once and never wanted to drive it again. But I've always loved being able to drive stick because you may have picked up on vlogs like across the years. My dad is a car guy, and it's always just been nice to be able to be like, yeah, I'll take out the Corvette. I wanted to drive, one of the last times I was there, we went out and got some did some errands and picked up some things from Home Depot. And I'm blanking on the car right now. It's the old Jag. The E-Type. I think it's an E-Type. And I really like it. But we drove it out, and then my plan was to drive it back. But it was having a lot of problems. Like, because you have to adjust, like, how much gas and it takes, and, like, it was running rich, and it was smoking, and it was... I was scared to drive it because of that. It's a Midwest dad thing, car guys. I grew up going to car shows, and I don't feel like any of my friends really did. And so, like, I would be able to point out cars and name them. And for a while, I was really good about even the years and be like, oh, well, that's a 67 Chevy. And, like, I don't feel like that was something my friends in high school had to experience. We have a 14-month resub from Brina BX. Thank you. My dad sold the E-Type, or is selling, or will sell. I don't know. He doesn't want to keep it. But he sold a bunch of his cars and bought something nicer. Just slowly over the years, he would pick up cars and, like, redo them. He had a Trans Am for a while with the big Firebird on the front of the hood. That was maybe one of my favorite cars he had. Alright, so I've decided on this Horizon line. Where is Eraser Scrub Brush? Where have you gone? You have a blue handle. I think I just need to clean up my desk. That would probably be the smart thing to do. Oh, there it is. Are they still planning to move to Florida permanently? Yes. They are actively working on that. I found the scrub brush. Alright. These belong here. Brushes. First, let me decide what brushes I'm going to use today, because those can stay out. Wonderful. Much better. Now, I don't need these colors either. Actually, I might need Burnt Umber. White primaries. I don't need ultramarine. I do not need this. And I don't need these. All right. This is better. I missed exactly what you said, Penguin Frog, but Snowfox said pedal assist is great. I can't ride a normal bike except on perfectly flat pavement, but with an e-bike I can go further and up hills. Yeah, where Raleigh is we're above the fall line, so it's a lot hillier here than it was in Myrtle Beach. So, there have been some climbs I've had to do on the bike, and it is a lot. But I'm getting better. Alright, we have sketchbook with our swatches in it. And now I have to figure out exactly how I want to make these colors. So this is like a navy with a little bit of black right on the horizon. But then we start to get into some of these colors in here. And I remember being very frustrated about this when I did the chalk pastel, about how green everything was getting. And I think in the end it turned out really good and not green, but it was frustrating. It was so frustrating. because it goes from this yellow and then into this blue, and I didn't want it to be green because it was not green. And like here, I used white. And here, it looks like I went kind of into a gray. Like even this blue next to this yellow, I'm kind of surprised that's not green at all. Yeah, there's a little bit of green, because Andream says, yeah, I see some green. Yeah, there's a little bit. But there's not much, and I'm impressed by myself from college. Ember Ellie says, thanks for being my inspiration and reminder today to get my bike back out. I'm thinking about going after I'm done painting. I don't know. I had some other things I might do. I think I hear a kitty. Do I hear a kitty? I do not see a kitty. Alright, so we're going to start by mixing up the navy color, which is like this faraway ocean stuff, and then maybe try and get some, mix some black paint up by desaturating some purple. And then we will start to do that. And then I'm going to keep a decent sized chunk of that paint on my palette, because that's going to be my shading color for all of this stuff. And he says, do you remember how old you were when you did the original? Okay, let me think about this. This would have been painting 2, which would have been a 300 level class. And I would have been a junior, so it would have been spring of junior year. Not this one. Maybe this one. So that would have been 09 spring. So this was done in spring of 09. So I was 21. That's when I did this. Did I do that math right? I did that math right. So it was like 2 or 3 years ago. What have I missed? Car talk, mostly. Listen, the only reason I like the BRZ is because I went in for an oil change like a year ago, and someone pulled in with a BRZ, and I was like, it's a pretty car. I like that car. What if I just have that car for fun? A 15-month resub from Brandon. Thank you, Brandon. Good morning. Do I ever do any art on the iPad? I have, but I don't love it. Can I pet that car? Brandon came to visit me when I was in Wisconsin, and my dad was like, you need to come sit in the Porsche. And then he made Brandon sit in the Porsche, because that's like my dad's favorite thing to do, is to take people out to the cars and be like, sit in this car. And sometimes he's like, drive this car. Which is extra horrifying for some people. Because he's done it to Steven. That's how he made me drive the very first time when I was a child. Before I had my temp license. Too young to drive Porsche? Or when I was a child, I don't know how old I was. I did not have my temps yet. We were out in the countryside of Wisconsin, and we pulled over, and he said, get out. I was like, what? And my dad's like, get out. And I'm like, why? He's like, get out of the car. And so I get out of the car because I'm just like, is he gonna leave me? Is he doing a joke? It's my dad. He's probably pulling a joke. So I get out of the car, and he's like, come around and get in the driver's side. And then he taught me how to drive. I think he had an Oldsmobile at the time. I think that's what he was driving. But I was definitely not old enough to drive. And then a few years later, when I had my car, I had my stick shift, my Kia, I did the same thing to Carly. I took her out into the countryside of Wisconsin, and I got out and I was like, get out. And so Carly's first driving experience was my car. So Carly's first ever, like, was a stick shift. So I taught her how to do that. And then Carly's first car was also a stick shift. Have I ever driven or rode in a Tesla? I've sat in one. I have not driven it or ridden in it. Oh, what am I doing? I'm mixing up color. I need to remember what I'm doing. So I'm out of titanium white on the palette. So I'm just adding some more. And I'm pretty low on red. And I should probably add some more blue. What else was I gonna say about cars? What color? I'm here for car talk. Stick shift, Carly. I don't know. It might come back to me. Oh, I remember. It's not really related to car talk, but it's related to my dad. A few weeks ago, my dad's working on moving to Florida. He had stored up a bunch of boxes in Wisconsin. He had been in Florida. He came back, he was going to start packing. Turns out his older brother is also working on moving, but just somewhere else in Wisconsin. So he was like, oh, I'll just go take some of Mark's boxes. He has a lot of them. He probably doesn't need all of them. He didn't ask my dad. He just went over to the house and took boxes while my dad was gone. And so my dad gets back from Florida and is not very happy that his older brother came and took some boxes. So there was a little bit of family drama about it. Brandon says, oh no, the box story. My favorite part of this story is what happens later. And I'm watching this sort of all go down in the family chat, which is very funny to me. Because this side of the family doesn't really ever have any drama. Renee says, I didn't know I'd be getting tea this early. So there's some, like, little petty comments being thrown around. It's funny to me. Because, like, this family never does that. Anyway, so they made up and things are fine. But during the midst of it, I was talking to my grandma, helping her with her iPad. And she's like, it's wild to me that my sons are fighting. And she's like, I'm 95. And she's like, and my sons are having an argument over boxes. And I was like, isn't it? I was like, they should just go get more boxes. Both of them. My dad can go get some more, and his brother can go get some more as an apology. Like, there, we made up. We fixed the problem. And I said, this is silly. And she's like, isn't it though? And so a few days later, my grandma's talking to my dad, and she told him what I said. And he's like, my daughter said that? And she's like, yeah, she did. And then so grandma calls me up and she's like, I got you in trouble with your dad. And I was like, what do you mean? And so she tells me how she told him that. And he was like, wait, my daughter said that I should like grow up and get over it. And she's like, yeah, I said that to him. So I'm sorry I got you in trouble with your dad. So that was the amusing part to me. I was very amused. And I talked to him yesterday and he did not mention it. So I texted grandma and I was like, you're good. I said he did not mention it to me. I was mostly amused because it's just really silly to me. We have a 15-month resub from Ultra Husk. Thank you. Welcome in. We've been talking about cars. We've been talking about random things. I'm trying to mix up a navy color that I've been trying to mix up for I don't know, 20 minutes now because I keep forgetting what I'm doing. I'm still waiting for the caffeine I just had to kick in. Grandma Mal learning to grandma from her grandma. We talked a little bit about LASIK. I love my grandma. I'm hoping I get to see her in October. I'm really hoping. Last I heard, she was planning on going. There's a wedding, a family wedding that's distance for her. And her going to Florida was kind of a test to see how she felt about flying at her age. And she thought it was fine. So I'm really hoping that she goes. Someone remind me when I'm ending stream that I need to book a hotel. Because I need to do that today. Alright, so I've mixed up an orange color to mix into my blue. Let's do this. That's better. Hotel book. Got it. I need to book a hotel for that wedding. I've been putting it off. So I'm using that orange to tone down my cyan color. Because it is very blue. And I think this orange is too yellow. The next mod fight will be over who can drive a stick shift. A stick shift pole. I am curious. I know it's rare nowadays for people to have one, but let alone know how to drive a stick shift. I know other countries it's way more common. Radio Dread says, I don't even have a license. This is unfair. And Burley says, I tried to learn. I managed to stall a pickup. The first time I took my stick shift onto the highway, I stalled going up the on-ramp. And it was very embarrassing. I got my car 2 days before I did my on-the-road test for driver's license, like the last thing you have to do in the US before you get your license. So I got my car, and I didn't know how to drive it yet. But I did not use that for the test. I used my mom's Toyota Camry. Which I didn't love because I didn't drive it that much because it was, like, newer. Brandon says, I was put into a 97 manual Jeep in a hilly grass field and told to go. It went poorly. It was 2014. Yeah, especially a hilly field, Brandon. That had to be rough. Because you're trying to go up hills. And, like, the ratio of switching from, well, it'd be the other way, like, off the clutch and onto the gas is not fun. This is feeling green. I don't want it to be this green. Which means there's too much yellow in it. A cattle field in rural Missouri. Yeah, that tracks. And Borelli says, Virginia had an interesting driver's test. Drive into town and back. Good enough. I got lucky because they would make you parallel, but only if there was a car on the path they took you that was good for parallel parking. If there wasn't, you didn't have to do it, and that was great. So I did not have to parallel, but lots of my friends did. Madison has to drive a route and do some maneuvers in front of the DMV. There were places in Myrtle Beach where you could go and they had like cones set up and like lines on the road for students to go practice parallel parking. Okay, we're getting into a good navy color. It's still a little green. I think I should test it against the drawing and see how I feel about it. We have a 9-month resub from Charlotte Dante. Thank you. This is more navy and less green. That's good than the last one. It's probably catching the light and it's probably too dark for you guys to see it. But the color on the knife is teal, like a dark teal, and not the navy I'm looking for. And I'm out of blue again. See, I could have cheated on this and used black and blue to make navy, but I don't want to do that. When you use black paint, it gives it a look, and when you don't, it's different. So I am being stubborn, because I don't want it to have that look today. Maybe someday I'll do 2 paintings side by side and one will use black paint and one will not, and they'll be the same painting and we'll see. I will mix a more red-orange this time though, because the yellow-orange I had was making it green. Renee, are you talking about Maddie driving? Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I've been slowly trying to mix up a navy blue.
Neat. I am going to go run errands and buy cat litter.
Okay.
I will return with cat litter.
Good.
I'll see how much I can fit in the car.
Okay.
You don't need anything?
No, just I need you to return the clothing to the post office.
Okay. Yeah, well, if you or chat decide you need something...
Chat, do I need anything?
Well, sometimes like halfway through a stream, you know, you might get talking and be like, wait a minute.
Oh, we've been talking about cars. I need a BRZ. Can you just pop down to a Subaru dealer and get me one?
Anyway, I'll be back later.
Brandon wants a double espresso.
Brandon, want to come with me?
Brandon, you want to go with? He said, okay.
All right.
He says, okay, let me put on pants.
Okay, I'll be there soon.
He says, I'll be there soon. He says, sounds good. Okay, I've added a lot of blue and more orange and more red to this, and now it is feeling less green. Much better. Let me scrape it so it's a bit more transparent. Much better. How do I feel about that? It could be darker. Which means it needs to be less saturated, so I will mix more orange into it. And he says, I swear, Triforce House only has one occupant at any given moment. Dan is there right now, also. Last night, we all went to the pool. A pool. And then we came over here and watched a Mystery Science Theater. Brandon says, Dan is here, but I'm literally about to leave. Go get you a double espresso. Are we biking later, or are you gonna come over and play Guitar Man? That's better. I'm happier with this. I want to know what it looks like if you added black paint. You want to compare the blue I made to like a blue made with black paint? I can do that at least. All right, let me get some more plastic wrap. And make sure I don't lose all of this blue paint I just mixed, because that would be terrible. All right, I need paper towel. And then I need to find Mars. Titan, sienna, zinc, carbon. There you are. How often do I need to buy Fresh Pigments paints? I don't know. I have backups of all of my major colors. I don't have backups of small things. Like, there's not really much of a reason for me to keep a backup of... I just saw it. Where did you go? Also, you are yellow. You belong in this one. Like, Interference Violet. Like, it looks clear, but it's basically like light purple glitter. Like, I don't need to keep a backup of that. I got that one on clearance. Ooh, I have not used this in a while. Okay. All right, so I'm going to do this because Vagabond suggested it. So this is our blue. So that's cyan. So if I mix, this brush was a mistake. If I mix a tiny bit of carbon black into that, maybe a little bit more, I get my navy color. Okay, can we see those? That's with carbon. I'm sorry, Mars black. And then here is the navy I mixed without. So they look pretty close to me. Are we gonna get a glare? They're almost spot on, which is cool. This one does feel less green and it has a slightly richer tone to it. I didn't mix up enough of the first one. I'm also going to put a little bit of white paint in both of these because that's where you're really going to see it. That's not enough. It's hard to get this exact because there's a little bit more white paint in that. We have a 15-month resub from Rowlet. Who? Thank you. That has a lot of paint in it still. So this was our blue. Let's do a better swatch of that. This is cyan. So that was the base layer for both. And I don't have the orange I used to make one of them. I have an orange, but it's a little muddied because I mixed some blue into it. So this was the orange to make these. And then this is the Mars black to make that. And then the ones on the right had titanium white, but if I put that on the paper, you're just not gonna see it. Because it's just going to be that. So that was our little square of how we did that. Have I ever thought about doing other art mediums like ceramic? I love doing ceramics. It was one of my favorite things in college. But having a kiln and clay and glazes is just an added expense right now when I could keep painting. So it's something I like, it's not really feasible right now. So there, that's what we did. The navy has, like, from the Mars black, has a good hue to it, but I feel like it's richer when you do it this way. So, like, there's differences in it, but it's all about what you're trying to do with the look. Noah, charge it to the business, sell your house, move. That's so much extra, though. All right, so what I want to do I just realized I need an even darker blue. Okay, because I mixed up this, but then this is like dark, dark, dark on the horizon, so I need to do that. So I'm just going to take a little bit of the navy I have and more of this orange. And a scooch of red because it needed to be that way. Okay, now I can start painting. Finally, here, an hour into the stream. I also probably should have drawn that line in, but it's fine, I can freehand that. Moving a kiln seems difficult. The worst part about kiln is the electrical setup. They're not difficult to take apart. They're just kind of a little bit of a pain. Depends how big the kiln is, I guess. Didn't I teach ceramics for a time? Yes. I didn't teach a ceramics class, but we did have a kiln where I taught, and I was the only teacher who knew about it or how to use it. I did teach everyone else while I was there, so like I didn't keep that knowledge to myself. But everyone was terrified of it. So no one else used it until I came along and taught them how to use it and wrote out all of the stuff on the wall so that they always had it. So I'm just painting a little bit of this super dark blue I made right on my chalk line. And the chalk line's gonna have to live there until this is dry. But later, when it's dry, I'll erase the chalk line, so it won't be as noticeable. Summer Door says, maybe when you're in your forever home you can get a kiln. I was looking at house listings, I don't know, a while ago, and I did see one that had a kiln. It had like a special room in the backyard that was just the kiln, so someone who lived there did that. Alright, so I did that. Now I need to blend it down because I put this down first. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see the difference between the dark line and then the blue that I have, but it's really good. Promise. Very happy with it. And now I need to draw in all of these different lines, so we're going to do that next. Alright, dark chalk. You are visible. Okay. So from over here, okay, now I can work on that. I would love to see future Mal do ceramics if she got a kiln. I mean, options include like finding a ceramicist in the area who will let me use their stuff and pay them money for whatever supplies I use. Like, there's options and ways to do this. Thoughts I've had about things I can do. Trying to find a brush I like for this purpose, and I'm not really successful. Marble sculpture of Kepi? That is not something I've done. So some of this part is going to be super subtle. What I'm getting is a lot of pinpricks in the canvas where the texture of the canvas is kind of like orange peel, and it's not holding paint in those little spaces. So like, you can kind of see the canvas texture. I don't like that. And Dream says, every time I navigate away, I come back to so much progress. I've done nothing today. This has been very slow going. But I do have a lot of blue paint. It's the best color. It is a good color. So this is a lighter blue that I'm just adding some highlights into this because I feel like it's getting a little lost. Does that help make it bluer? I think so. And I'm just kind of dry brushing this. Can you see the blue now? Is it bluer and not as dark? And then I'll do even lighter of that and start to do the highlights on tops of these waves. Can you see that, or is it too tiny? Can see? Good. One wave. My hope is they get easier, but my worry is they'll get more difficult as we introduce the other colors. Because this first one doesn't really have these colors in it. So I'm just trying to darken up the area under this wave. And I did paint too far on purpose. All right. So I have this navy color, and that's going to be my color for a lot of this. Here we're going to get some more saturation because this is just wet sand, whereas these are the waves. So it's like where the wave came up and then it's receding. So this part is going to be saturated, and these parts are going to be, there's still the water reflection, so we still have that. So I'm trying to think of the best way to do that. If I just want to mix up those colors and muddy them with the blue or not. And I think that needs to be the answer. So I think I need to mix up some more color. Was this based on a photo I took, or where did you get the scene from originally? Yes, it's based on a photo I took. I might be able to find it and post it to mod. Before I start mixing this, let me go see if I can quick find it. Because I know when I took this, and I know where I would have posted it. What year did I say? This would have been spring. Haha! Found it! That was not difficult. Let me post this in mod. Honestly, it's much less saturated than I remember, so that's kind of exciting. I really saturated this drawing. Look at that. Man, I really saturated that drawing. MCL Blue, I know when I took this. Chat, when did I take this? We talked about it earlier on stream. I did the math. So yeah, I really saturated that, and I don't remember why. I don't remember saturating that. Oh, I know, I was there. We're gonna stick with recreating the drawing because it's pretty. Remember last stream I painted where I said that I have a tendency to oversaturate things? Was doing it then too. Let's see, I'm mixing up sky color. I mean watercolor. We're mixing up an orange. The other photos I have somewhere as well. So all I have here is I have red, yellow, and orange. And I'm going to take a little bit of them and tone them down a little bit with some of this blue color. Like a little. And I will swatch these just because I don't want to lose them. I knew that would go green. That's okay. It is kind of green. And that went way green. I should have predicted that a little better. Let's not use that. Better. Much better. Okay, so we have red. Please move over there. And I didn't mix up a ton of this, so I don't want to like waste these colors. And then we have our red and blue mix. We have our orange. And then we have the mix with that. And I did paint that one orange on top of purple so it doesn't look fully saturated. And then we have our yellow. And then for the yellow mix, I didn't mix in the blue because that obviously made green. That made this. We don't want that. So I mixed more red into the blue, so it was slightly more violet, which is opposite of yellow. So I got more of this color, which is the better color for this. That's not going to make it as green. That's what we wanted. Does painting oversaturated work better for filming? Like, would the lights wash out the painting if it were more muted? It probably would a little bit, but it's not... These lights are... What's the word I want? I forget the color of these lights. Steven would know. That's not my specialty. It doesn't change it much. You're seeing it more true color like you would in outdoors. Daylight? Yeah, but there's a name, like the Calvin of it. Hello, Kepler here. So I'm putting down base layers of these colors here. The full saturated line. I should have just drawn all of these. because now I can just do that. There's method to this. I'm just starting to fill in the colors on top. Kita says, I can see what you're going for. Yeah, trust the process. We're getting there. This is to start seeing where all of my lines are. And where the colors need to be. And I need to move back to this blue. So I'm going back to that base navy blue. And I need to lighten it up just a little bit. And then we need to kind of do the same thing with this, filling in a lot of this blue area. I think I made it too light. That's fine. And Dream says, I love watching art progress videos. It makes me remember my weird looking beginnings are normal. Yeah, sometimes I do that too, and I'm like, yeah, this is right. It should be this way. It should be strange looking. Right now, I just want to get some paint on the canvas. Let's see. We have a 2-month resub from Stefania. Thank you. Hope everything is well with you, and I hope everything is well with you as well. We are working on this painting. I didn't think about this side of the canvas at all earlier. Whoops. We have to adjust for that. What was I just going to try doing? Oh yeah, this blue. We have a 7-month resub from Pickletron. Thank you. Ow. So I'm kind of working here, but I have the angle all wrong. That's better. Like I said, I'm just trying to get some paint on the canvas. Because this will just kind of be a back and forth for a little bit. That was the wrong blue. Whoops. Whoops. I wanted this color. We have a 14-month resub from Icy Patterns. Thank you. One more Brandon plays. I will leave that up to Brandon, as he is a important adult with many work things to do. But I will be playing more Dark Cloud on Monday. How have I liked streaming a game? It's been fun. It's been nice to play a game that I probably wouldn't play otherwise just because it is so long. To, in a way, have an excuse to play through it. I did not mix enough of the sand color, and I'm upset about that. So let's swatch it. So I have it. And then we'll make up more. Like I said, I'm not trying to make this perfect right now. I'm just trying to get some paint on the canvas so I have a better idea of where things are going. Let's see. I added some red to that. Some orange. Let's see how I feel about this mix. A little purple, which means more yellow. That's pretty close. Stay there, do not fall. That would be not fun. Oh no. There we go. Tokunut says progress. Yeah, it's getting there. We're trying to make it so we don't have as much like cleanup to do later with the painting. I'm using some dried paint that's like kind of chunky. I thought I knew what this song was and I was wrong. Okay, so we blocked in a lot of this. And we're gonna set this, I need to do right here in this corner. Okay, blocked everything in for the most part. I want to cover up all my little spots of paint that I have mixed and take a short break while that dries. Wash out some brushes. Make sure I don't have any paint on my hands that'll ruin, like, I don't know, the sky of the painting. Okay, there. That's done. Paintbrushes. People are talking about games they're playing again right now. I mean, I'm playing Dark Cloud 2 again right now, but that's it. Steven just beat Mother 3. Working through Leighton Storms? Ooh, I thought about playing the first one, but I didn't have a desire to play beyond that, but I haven't done it. Just something I was like, that might be fun to do at some point. I think Haley and I have a similar experience to Leighton, where we were both like separately on car trips, and we would ask the people in the car about the puzzles and like try and solve them as a group on the road trip. Okay, we've cleaned up. This is dry enough to set up. So it's starting to look like it. I don't know how I feel about some of these lines in here. I don't feel like they're exactly where I want them to be. So my thought is to take a paint marker, maybe chalk first, that would be the smart move, and redraw in like where the black is going to go, and then adjust from there. That's kind of my thought. And the colors aren't right yet. I'm just blocking them in solid so I can start to see them. But we have a good base layer down, which is kind of what I was hoping for. I did kind of think earlier I would finish this today, but it took a long time to get the color right. and we chatted for a while. But that's fine. Sometimes things take longer than you suspect they will. What's going to show up best? Nope. Pencil. Are you transparent? You are the transparent color. You would too, but I don't like the tip of this brush. I could go to the darkest chalk pastel. Because, like, I like this line in here. I think it needs to cut in more. Make sure I don't have any paint on my hand. Yeah, that's better. This is the one I'm not happy with right now. This guy. And there's a little bit in here I don't like either. Yep, that's it. It's the upper line. Oh no, Noah, I know that's the worst. I'm sorry. It's 80 in the lab and the AC is out. I'm not happy with the line between the wet sand and the dry sand. That one is not good. Because this needs to be up higher. This needs to be like up here. Because it cuts in, yeah. This one is fine. Oh, I passed you right up. I'm in a Quick Trip and the ad says to be Wisconsin nice, to be an organ donor. Quick Trip. Quick Trip is the best gas station. Sorry, Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's is different. Like... Like, Buc-ee's is not an everyday thing to me because we don't have them. Oh, I forgot to bring this in. Shoot. Okay. I've marked in where those are, and I'm very happy with those lines. There's a little bit of cleanup to do on things, but we have a good basis now. And I also feel like I should make a note to myself that says, this transition needs to be here. And not up where I drew it. The other thing I noticed is I didn't sign this one either. when I did it. So let's do that. I guess that wasn't what we did in college. Do I still have a website to buy my art? Can't remember the name, Cindy Lou says. It's a Redbubble. Tokenute has the link for you. I do not have any originals up right now anywhere. I was hoping to have that done by today, but I didn't. I will announce it here, and it will probably also be announced on Steven's streams. I think Redbubble has a sale right now. Maybe. Or they did. Or they're getting ready to have one. Does anyone know offhand? I can look. I'm looking. Yeah, there's 40% off right now. Up to 40% off, which means some things are 40 and some are probably more like 15 or 20. It depends. Everything's a little bit different. Echo Storm says, painting looks awesome. Really love what you did with it. Thank you. We still have some work to do, but we were blocking in base layers. I can probably erase my horizon line by now. Let's do that. That'll help. Not everything is 40% off. Some things are. That just helps a lot. Getting rid of that chalk line. Just a little change. But yeah, this is looking good. We have not much left to do because I blocked a lot in. This is my last 8x10 I had, so if I am doing the daytime one to have all 3 in the series painted. But I was out of 8x10s and they actually just arrived yesterday. It's 40% off Redbubble or eBay. It's up to 40% on Redbubble. So some things are 40 and some things are less 40% off. You'll have to go look at individual products. So if you're interested in something in particular, you'll have to go look at it and see what percentage off it is. Because everything's different. Sometimes they do like site-wide X amount off, but sometimes they're like, some things are cheaper and some things are even cheaper. So you'll have to take a look at that because I'm not sure offhand what they do. I think it depends on what they have in stock. But I am not in charge of any of that, unfortunately. Anything for free? No. Everything does have a cost. I think once we start to fill in the rest of the blank spaces, right where I have the transition between these waves, this will really start to look more complete because that's really where your eye goes to on this. Like this line back here, like once that's gone, I think that'll really help. Because if I cover that, like everything starts to feel better. Canvas prints are 20, which is what I wanted the Grease Sign Autumn Night. Are canvas prints 20% off? Totes look like 25, backpacks are 20, shower curtain 35. Yeah, like I said, everything's a little bit different on what percentage off they have. Chris Williams says, I kind of like what it looks like with the waves right now. It's an interesting look. Yeah, 20% off canvas prints. That's a pretty good price from watching the stuff over the years. There will be white in here because there's a little bit on top of the foam. It's hard to see in the chalk, but it's just like this light line I have here, right where my nail is touching, above this wave, like those. I can do a zoom in. That would be great. Does kind of affect what I make. So that takes it off of the entire price and I get a percentage. But I would rather you guys get a discount because it's worth it and it's not really that much a difference percentage-wise. Oh, that's the wrong direction. Oh, I'm not doing what I need to do. Oops, let's fix that. There we go. So you can see like this, that's highlight's going to stay. And so there will be highlights on the top of these other ones. But we had to block it in. We had to see where everything was gonna go. And it was really bothering me how much blank canvas there was. If only a cameraman with coffee were here. See, normally I'll go get Brandon coffee, like he and I'll go out and get coffee. But that means a special stop somewhere, and that's not always what Steven's interested in doing. So I'm curious what they did. Did they go to special coffee stop? Did they go to a special stop where Steven can get something other than coffee? I don't know. Did they just go to Starbucks? Maybe. I'm curious. Get Kepi to do zoom in. Kepi doesn't have thumbs and he has tiny little paws. There'll be a song story later. Did I ask for a drink? No. I had my coffee already. So I'm super sensitive to caffeine. If I have caffeine after noon, like after 12 noon, I don't really sleep that night. I fall asleep for 30 minutes and then I'm up. And if I've had a full glass after 12 noon, there they are. Or at least there's Steven. Then I don't sleep. I'm just up. So the other day I did an experiment and I was like, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have like 2 mouthfuls of coffee, 2 like sips, and it's 1 p.m. and I'm gonna see if I sleep. And I sort of did. I fell asleep and I was up 30 minutes later. Because that's what it always happens. It's like, oh, I think I can sleep, and then I'll sleep, and then I'll be up in 30 minutes. Like it was like short nap, awake. And that happened, and normally I'm up for hours if I've had caffeine after 12 noon. But I wasn't. I fell back asleep, which was good. But still, I was up, so I need to not do that anymore. So I had my coffee for today, and I have to be done, and I'm sad about it, because I like coffee. Alright, it is a Friday. Is anyone streaming this early? At 1 Eastern? Decaf? Yeah, but it's harder to find decaf. People are asleep. No, people just aren't streaming this early. Alright. Well, in that case, no, are we doing espresso martinis when I visit? You know I can't say no to that. Join us tonight for Tears of the Kingdom. We will be continuing on. We just got to, we're going towards the Deku Tree, kind of, sort of. That's all I know. And then I'll be painting more of this on Tuesday at 1 p.m. On Monday night, I'll be doing Dark Cloud 2 again. So make sure you tune in for that. And if you didn't check out Fan Favorites, go watch Fan Favorites, because it was really nice. Did we get the Master Sword yet? No. We gotta go into Korok Forest. Go book my hotel? Thank you. This is what I'm gonna do. Phone. Hotel website. I had it pulled up yesterday. Oh god, where'd it go? I don't have it pulled up anymore. Okay. I'm gonna do that. Alright everyone, thanks for being here. I'll see you tonight.
Oh, hey.
Oh, hi, you're back.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
How's it going?
Good.
Oh, are you done?
I mean, for the stream, yes.
Okay.
But the painting is not done.
You raiding anybody?
No one's live.
Okay. Okay. I can release the Dark Cloud 2 VOD.
VOD 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
I need a minute, but I'll do it.
Okay.
You can end your stream. Just tell folks they can hear me. The Dark Cloud 2 VOD 2, I'll release it.
Dark Cloud 2 VOD 2?
Yeah.
All right. I'll see you all tonight for Fan Favorites and Monday night for Dark Cloud 2.
Fan favorites?
I mean, sorry. Tears of the Kingdom. I mentioned they could go watch Fan Favorites if they hadn't seen it. And Fossix has it pinned, so I saw that pop up. All right, everyone. Have a good Friday. I will see you later.